So the team that picked first overall is picking again.
Right.
The Sharks moved up. They made a trade with Buffalo to go from 14 to 11. Again, they need so much. They can certainly take best available. Who is the best available in your mind, Megan?
It's definitely Dickinson. And if I'm them, I'm reaching for them immediately. They just had the number 1 pick. They need a defense. And Dickinson and Perek both played in that Memorial Cup final. And he absolutely flew down the ice. He's a great puck transporter. He can score as well, but he really pushes the pace. So if I'm them, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just like having an espresso right now, walking up in a minute. Okay, Sabrina.
And of course, the Flyers are on deck. So if they want either Bulliam or Dickinson, they know they're going to get one.
Absolutely.
If that's
There's no wrong answer right now.
No. Cole Eiserman, who's just a guy who could score 35, 40 in the league, is sitting there.
Yeah, and he's probably the most pure goal scorer in the draft.
Right.
In a sense.
Yeah.
But he's started to slide. He's kind of polarizing. Some people are thinking, oh, well, that's the one dimension. But here's one thing. If that's his calling card, goals are huge. They're premium.
You gotta score in the NHL. You gotta score.
That's where you can kind of run into some trouble overthinking it and looking for blemishes for what he's not, as opposed to really celebrating what he is.
All right, people. Appreciate everybody popping in here.
Game in general too, because he is that pure goal
I'm actually gonna
kind
of
shoot from anywhere. He has a
add
great
a window here.
And really, does he need to do more at USNTDP? Like, do you know how defensively sound he could be if he had a different role? So yes, there's that development of his defensive side, but you already got pure offense.
Exactly, which is hard to find.
So again, this was the Sabres pick originally.
All right.
And maybe their thought was, hey, let's move down and maybe Cole Eiserman, because I could see someone like him being taken by the Sabres. Their blue line seems to be somewhat set. I know they'd like something on the right side. But for now, it is the San Jose Sharks, the team that began the proceedings with the first pick, Macklin Celebrini.
All right, let me just make a little bit of adjustment
here.
here.
Last year, 4th overall, had a big year at Boston College. He's going to step in and turn pro this fall. Celebrini, Smith, they're building around the outside as well. Now they'll make another reaction here at 11.
Booyah? Are you saying booyah? What are you saying?
Booyah.
Let me see the full tracker here.
Give me booyah.
All right,
the San Jose Sharks are proud to select from the London Knights of the OHL, Sam Dickinson.
Sam Dickinson.
Tremendous skater, 6'3", so he's bigger than Booyam.
He's nice with it.
Great offensive skills. Two-way defenseman.
Big boy.
Yep.
And he plays with that puck possession. He skated end to end.
That's right. I can't watch that on that screen.
And basically was bringing the London Knights back.
I'll get taken down for copyright reasons.
But
I want
Dickinson
that.
versus Perek on the ice. My eyes were on Dickinson the whole time. So
all right,
I'm
so
shocked that he went lower.
Wow.
Because he does really have that.
So San Jose goes with Sam Dickinson.
The puck, but also being responsible.
Solid defenseman.
So both ways of the game.
I had.
It's a great pick, and it's nice
I had Sam Dickinson going 8th to Seattle. So I think that's good value.
Get this offseason is a power play quarterback, and a lot
solid
of times
defenseman.
Year they were only using 5 forwards, and they just didn't have them.
So looking at
Meg, is this someone who could do
the
that
draft
in the
thus
future?
far,
Oh,
start a little later.
absolutely.
That's some
And
key
he's
things
that
going
type
on.
of player that you build
Macklin
teams
Celebrini
around.
taking first
The London
overall,
Knights are
not
only a
really much of a
historic
surprise.
They're a group that runs like an
Leshkinov,
NHL team. So
I had him going 2 as well. Solid defenseman.
I've been in the league 30 years.
The Hunters are some of the best.
Beckett Schneck, I thought this was a reach.
All of hockey.
When I saw that coming in, not saying he can't be a good quality hockey player, but from what I had, wasn't actually expecting that.
Takes the puck.
Yep.
He's comfortable with it. He finds
Let
the
me
space and time. He can make those passes.
Beautiful.
Hide this for a second.
Right
Actually, make a quick adjustment.
Dickinson driving that play in that
So I
transition.
can kind of make it a little
really
bit
heads
easier.
up play. Smart hockey. The Hunters are well coached, the Knights too, so they're able to play that fast and loose, but still
Let
be
me just make a
defensively
quick little
responsible.
adjustment here.
He knows what he has
I appreciate
to do in this
people kind of
scenario.
popping in.
He's able to defend accordingly, keep possession of that puck,
Checking
get
it
some
out when I
contact,
get a
and keep going.
chance.
And that's what you
12
gotta do in
people
the
watching.
NHL.
Appreciate
So
it.
He's prepared for this level of the game. And the Sharks
just-
getting the first overall pick, and now Dickinson, it's already a slam dunk for
Okay,
them.
cool.
Listen, I'm a product of Toronto, and it's the best minor hockey
Now I
system
don't-
in the world.
now I don't
the
have
best
to
minor
hide
hockey
the
league
window.
in the world. And Dickinson, I've heard from a
Go
lot of
back
my
to-
buddies back home for years.
Yeah.
This guy is the next guy
There
in
we go.
defense.
Wow.
This guy's the next guy in defense, and he's been all of that.
So
and
we
he
got
certainly was all
Philadelphia
that in
Flyers
London at this
here on
point.
the
And I think
the
it's
clock.
really good value here for the San Jose Sharks. I think we're splitting between either.
But TJ,
William and him.
again,
They can
I
go
was a-
along.
Yep.
Dickinson's a
You
great
know, I
selection
wasn't
for them.
as surprised. Where'd I have
Jones,
Ginley
Danny
going,
Briere,
if I
and the
remember? I had him
Philadelphia
5th
Flyers now on
overall.
the clock. Of
So
course, last year, they had
Right there.
Ishkov fall to him. Some people, like you mentioned, doesn't want to touch those
I
AHL
was surprised
players because it takes
by
a lot to get here. Well, now he's
Schneck.
coming this year. As the Flyers make their way to the podium, we see more of Sam Dickinson's game.
Because I had him going like 18th, a little bit later in the first.
Too. So not only can he control the
That's why I
play,
like,
he has that time and space.
I gotta
He's able
stop
to make
switching
those
to the
smart
goddamn
moves
that
and get
page.
into better
I do
areas
like
to
kind of
score.
doing these
So,
comparisons,
a lot of
seeing
goals
where it
a lot
goes
of
for the
nights,
mock draft.
Pushing the pace, a lot of puck possession. Just a great all-around game.
Kinda
so on pick
read
number 11, you're very
chat
happy
here.
with yourself to get that type of defenseman because that's a blue-chip #1 defenseman in 5 years.
The Toronto Maple
Okay.
Leafs drafted-
Oh,
drafted Easton
there we go.
from the London
Now I can
Knights,
actually
OHL
read your
MVP,
comments.
playoff
That's
OHL
amazing.
MVP stud.
Appreciate everybody popping
You know who's
through.
on the ice a lot of times when he was on the ice?
KatIB.
Sam Dickinson.
Let's call you K. What's going on there? It's draft time. Daryl says, Cap, what's going on, Daryl, man? Good to see you. BTS, what's going on, man? Long time no talk. Yeah, I've been very busy on the boats. I watch a new hockey YouTuber named The Warning Take. You should check him out. Watch him sometime. Absolutely.
Let me just talk big picture about the Flyers and where
yes,
they stand right now. I did talk to their GM, Danny Briere, last week.
KB, owe me out an OHL player. We got an OHL player in the first round. Let's go. Can't wait to see who drafts the first Ottawa 67s player. Big G, I love this man so much. I appreciate everybody kind of popping in.
Quick interruption. Leah Hextall, what do you have?
I will interrupt you with Sam Dickinson, the 11th overall selection, and you're going to join
Open this.
Macklin Celebrini
If I
in
open
San
this in a
Jose.
new
What excites
tab
you about that?
and minimize it?
Yeah, I mean, I know Mac a little bit, and he's just such an
Cool,
unbelievable
actually,
player,
that
and
makes-
it's going to be special to be able to
make
play
this a little bit
alongside
easier
of him.
so I can
and,
actually
I just couldn't be more grateful to
appropriately
San
watch
Jose
this.
Sharks.
Sam, I've heard that you like the bright lights, so this doesn't bother you being in the sphere here, but that also probably explains why
I think
you
it's good
love
though for San
how well
Jose.
it
I mean,
takes
you
man
get
as a
your
defenseman,
franchise
but you didn't
center,
start as a
then you
D-man,
get a
did you?
good young prospect here on
I,
defense, good
I started
size,
my career, I guess,
6'3".
as a goalie. I was
So
the same team
you get a forward, you get a defenseman. I thought
I was there for that.
thought you might have paired him with a winger, but I do like this.
Congratulations to you.
I'm hoping the Sharks can kind of turn it around because it's been a while.
Thank you so much.
I remember with Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, Pavelski when it was in younger years. So hopefully this is kind of a good sign for the Sharks if they can start, pointing this franchise in the right direction.
We're down to 12 seconds. So we'll see.
California says, I wonder who Florida's going to pick. Not that I really think the player's going to make much of an impact. Second.
Like the principal. So now maybe Briere.
I think most of these, I mean not most. Yeah, most. A lot of these guys will probably take at least a year or two, probably 3 to 4 in their development, unless they're just hit the ground running.
And this is a tough draft.
So we got the Flyers here on the clock.
Draft rankings with scouts. You do like tiers 1, 2, 3, ABC, whatever.
Looking at the list, who did I have them picking?
Very difficult to differentiate.
He's already off the board.
And then past 12, it kind of breaks open. So I think a team is thinking.
And I already had him. Yeah, he went 8th overall to Seattle.
12, it's sort of a free for all. Past 20, I had to prepare.
I'm actually kind of glad I have something to look forward to in this draft. With the Bruins actually having a draft pick. Regardless of, I might do another video on that Olmark trade because I really been sitting down pondering it. I'm like, I wasn't the biggest fan of that deal. Kind of looking at it.
And that's really what's continued to show itself as this draft has continued to go along.
Briere back on the phone.
And actually, it's kind of cool to see.
Because they were trying to move up in the draft earlier. Now it's clear that they're trying to move down.
Kind of see a Ginla's kid in the league as well. I was a big Jerome Ginla fan. Obviously, I was a Bruins fan, but I loved watching him play in Calgary. He was a fantastic power forward. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do in Utah. Maybe he becomes face of the franchise there. And that's another thing I got to talk about is the Merlot situation.
Really good players, and
on my team tonight.
Danny told me that they're open to more trades like that. So I'd be curious if it's a roster player being involved.
We have a very famous trade horn that we're going to unveil, I think, here at Sphere.
So what's the trade?
Horn, like a goal horn we see at NHL games. Well, we're here for rehearsals. And
I will say the Sphere is interesting to have this kind of like
of the night.
The city of brotherly love. I love the year they had last year.
Interesting backdrop
just
here.
until they traded Walker, because Walker and Sealer were a great pair.
Yeah.
And once they traded Walker, then things kind of descended pretty quickly down the stretch for them. But all of that to say, for Danny
so are we doing a trade here, or what's going on, folks?
I can tell you this: they're still going to be patient. They knew they were out ahead of it last year. They're not rushing. They're not going to be rash. Him and Jonesy have a really good approach to how they want to build this, and they want it to be sustainable.
Well, they were scratching, right? And
yeah.
you don't want to give up the future.
I'm on OBS. I'm trying to figure this out. I can't show. Thank you so much there, Sergeant. Appreciate it, Sergeant Rock Headbangers. Check out his channel. He has a bunch of music. He's mainly on...
I can't believe how he's fallen.
I can't. I mean, he's just such.
He's mainly on Rumble. He's not really on YouTube, but
I'm a big
ton
fan
of metal music if you're into it.
A young man, American born.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, Sergeant.
Champ. He's won multiple medals.
Can I just call you Jay?
USA. I just
can't
believe that a guy like him.
Call you Jay.
And not limited to, but him.
That's not really doxing you. Just kind of weird when I know you. But you know. Appreciate you popping in. I've been really busy at work. It's been kind of insanity. So I've just been really haven't been on Xbox or anything outside the whole NHL grind towards the end of the playoffs. All my free time was kind of going into that. So I'll call you Jay. So what's going on here? What's the trade here?
Yeah, so we're gonna find out who moved up and what the price was.
It's gonna be interesting.
12th overall selection. So Gary Bettman making the way to the podium.
Let's go. Come on, Bettman. Let's do this.
And here's Gary Bettman at the podium now. Yeah, he's getting the hand out. Wait for the trade horn, Mr. Commissioner. Big moment coming.
All right.
Draft history about to be made. The first trade horn.
All right, come on. Interesting. The sphere definitely adds a different dynamic.
As you can tell, we have a trade. Philadelphia trades pick number 12 in the 2024 NHL draft to Minnesota in exchange for Minnesota's own first-round pick, number 13, and Minnesota's own third-round pick in 2025.
So there's somebody they definitely want if they're just moving up one spot.
Next year.
So the Flyers obviously had no one specific
Minnesota,
in mind.
They on the clock.
Only moved down.
Yeah, Wild definitely has somebody they want in particular if they're moving up one spot and then dealing a third. And mind you, a third isn't like a huge...
One more year in that cap penalty.
Yeah, but I mean, you're just moving up one spot and you're getting an additional
break for not a lot of squeeze.
Makes sense for Philly. That's actually a solid trade if they don't want somebody in particular. I like that move quite a bit. Billy Guerin. Loved watching him play. He was a really good power forward for the Boston Bruins back in the day.
And he said Montreal got the steal of the draft in Demidov.
Oh, he's the player. Yep. He is a very...
I would agree. Montreal, Demidov, as a Bruins fan, I am not looking forward to seeing him play quite a bit.
Has a decision to
Guy
make.
is...
Has a big delay here at the 2020.
Guy would have gone high. Guy should have, could have, and should have gone higher. I had him slotted in at... Where did I put Demidov? I even said it in the video. I had him slotted in at fourth, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he got a little bit higher in the draft. He's a terrific hockey player.
Billy Guerin last week about where the team was at. As you
definitely going to be a very solid player with what the Habs are trying to build.
If they stay healthy and they had
you have Caulfield, you have Suzuki, you have good young players.
And as we head to free agency on Monday,
if you're a Habs fan, you're hoping he definitely hits better than Slavkovsky has hit. Not to knock him as a player, he's still young, but Demidov has a very high upside.
Unbelievable atmosphere. Kirill Kaprizov loves playing there in front of their awesome fans. But if I'm the Minnesota Wild, now you've got Brock Faber, who's Charlie McAvoy 2.0 for me, very similar.
Right.
And you have Kirill Kaprizov, who is a superstar and one of the best players in the league. Game breaker. They should be looking to try to keep him happy there.
Yeah, I asked Bill Guerin, who's the core that you're trying to build
I think for
around?
Minnesota,
Kaprizov, Boldy, Faber, Eriksson Ek, all 21 to 27. That's a great core.
Billy Guerin making his
Minnesota
way.
will be interesting to see what they do here. They moved up one, so this is definitely the guy they wanted.
Come on, Weeksy.
Oh,
Weeksy.
That'd be
Billy Guerin.
Say again?
Are you back?
I'm all the way back.
All right.
Are you kidding me?
So the Wild give up a 3 to move up one spot. Billy Guerin to the podium to announce the Wild's first selection of the 2024 draft here at Sphere Las Vegas.
Do the Wild select.
This place is pretty cool.
Thanks for a great week, Vegas. The Minnesota Wild are proud to select from the University of Denver, Z. Bouillon.
Another electric D-man. Big-time offensive player. Just
That's how
won a
you say
natty
his
at Denver.
goddamn
He
name.
will run an NHL power play. That's a high IQ. To see this guy in person, as Colby Cohen did last year at the Frozen Four, just electric. And he's like a big-time player. End of the game, he wants the spotlight.
And you're moving up because you're hearing rumblings that Bouillon is going at number 12 if you don't make that trade. Puck possession,
Interesting. So
that pace of play.
Denver University.
Puck control. When I watch him, he looks a lot like Adam Fox. You know, really is able to have that.
Oh, that's a
ability,
big comparison, Adam Fox.
And creating time and space.
Also, offensive D-man of the world.
Skating,
yeah, I mean,
lets him create that offense on the rush, or he can even join as a second wave. Has a lot of that hockey IQ of when to come in and when to dip out. So nice, well-rounded.
So 11
player.
goals, 39 assists,
Very good
and
ad for
42
Minnesota.
games
They could've
played.
got
So you're
the
getting a
guy.
point
They
producer from the point.
He does remind me of Fox, who has like a playmaker from the point. Not so much goals, but almost like an extra center at the blue line.
That's exactly right. And you know what? When you've got young players that want...
So this is the guy they wanted.
He wants the smoke. And he knows that playing for Dave Carl, University of Denver, and what they've been able to accomplish. He knows that playing nationally for Team USA.
So Wild fans, I mean, I think you should be pretty happy with this pick.
This is a guy that wants the puck on his tape. And what a compliment. To add to what Brock Faber, the favorite tooth tiger, did in Minnesota in the land of 10,000 lakes, and now you get Bouillon up there?
Gold medalist, World Junior, national champion, San Diego, California shutout.
Oh, I did have him a little bit higher.
Number 1 pick of the Detroit Red
I was wondering, where the hell did I have him selected?
This show has become like the Bouillon band. There's a reason why. I had a chance to meet him
Good
at the
young
Stanley Cup final.
point-producing defenseman, 6 foot.
Electric
Who knows? Maybe he can grow an inch or two taller.
Celebrini that night, and they were ribbing each other, chirping back and forth.
Led NCAA defenseman in points.
His play on the ice is really why we're all fans here. I mean, look at those numbers.
Good sign.
Huge number for
Now the Philadelphia Flyers are on the clock.
That's unreal. And I just love the poise and composure when he has the puck on his tape.
Jay says, bro, they need someone to help out in the top 6 since Fiala got traded. Their production dropped.
The way he's able to shake off defenders. Zero panic.
Yeah, but I think he, for where you're getting him, where I thought I predicted him going a little bit higher, I think you're getting a really good value pick. I think he could really turn into a great top pairing guy.
Minnesota's going great.
I'm actually going to sit back here in my chair because my
I just wonder how that conversation went. Does Daniel Briere call Billy Garrett and say, we're going to take Z Bouillon?
Oh, I'm sure there's rumblings, right? They talk a lot.
That's
both before and after. People are talking about who they have their eye on.
Pronunciation is a pain in the butt.
If they're taking your guy and
So
you can make that
they all say the same thing about every player. So how do I feel about being drafted to the Minnesota Wild? Well, I'd like to see, thank God, and the same.
So teams were really calling about that 1 to 12 pick.
Well, he's got a cool name and he's got a cool game. Z Bouillon and family with Leo.
That they are, Bucci. And Zeev, you said when you got drafted you might black out. So I'm wondering, did you remain conscious?
I don't know. I don't even remember the walk up there, but yeah, I mean, I'm so pumped. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm so pumped to be a Wild. So this is great.
I spoke to you when you arrived, and you said, I'm just anxious because I want to see who wants me. The Wild traded up to get you. What do you think about going from
Nick
San
says,
Diego to the
I
state?
can't wait to see if the Bruins make a decent pick, or if they fumble. I'm hoping the Bruins actually could hit on this pick. That's what I'm hoping for.
So I also
Jay says, as long as he's not captain giveaway like Matt Snowflake Dumpus was.
Competitive edge in Zeev?
He's better than me. He's good. He's very good.
Big hug in the moment. What did you think about your son being drafted tonight?
It was incredible. I couldn't breathe. For a second, I lost my breath, and I'm so proud of him. The moment was incredible. Like, till now, I can feel my body shaking.
Great.
But, yeah.
And Shai, I just have to ask you, you've been a teammate at Denver with Zeev. What's he like as a brother?
I mean, I love him. You know, we love playing together. We love being together all the time, and I'm just so happy right now. I'm so happy for him and proud of him.
So happy for you all. Thank you for being with us. John?
Thank you. Shai, a second-round pick of the Red Wings, 36th overall. He has turned pro. He played one game for Grand Rapids in the American League. So the Red Wings.
So let's look at some of these highlights here.
too far away, not too bad for Mom. You got a kid in Detroit, a kid in Minnesota, not too far, very short flight.
Exactly.
But again, whether it's off the rush, whether it's playmaking, this kid's got it all.
Stinks. I have to, like, all my files got corrupted on my desktop where I did a long form video. So I've seen a lot of these, obviously without the graphics. I've seen a lot of these highlights.
With that critical decision making as well.
But
so you can see him with that
I think a solid pick.
Knowing to make that drop pass there.
Solid pick. You can't be mad about that.
For another goal.
And Flyers, I mean, if they didn't want,
like a vortex around him.
I think Flyers actually made out pretty well.
That play through that puck possession.
They just moved down one spot and get an extra pick.
He has an incredible story,
Not a
winning
bad
at every
thing.
level, but also a great family
Not a
story.
bad thing whatsoever.
So 80 family and friends here. Many of
I'm
them
gonna be
flying
interested
in
to
from
see.
Israel, so
Wow.
it's pretty cool.
Wasn't
to
it like
see.
70? He said he flew in.
I think so.
That's
Crazy.
unreal.
It's amazing.
So we got Philly, Buffalo, Detroit.
Yeah, that's true. I just a quick shout out to Bush, our former colleague Brian Boucher's tuned
Louis,
in.
Washington.
So Bush, we see
That's
you.
where I'm interested to see what Washington will do. Chicago, Vegas,
I have to do the game breakdowns now.
Islanders, Montreal,
Brian Boucher does the TV
Nashville,
analyst
Toronto,
for
Columbus,
the Flyers
and
local
Boston,
broadcast, and they are
LA.
now on
Okay.
the clock. They pick now, and then they'll pick as
Obviously,
well
got to pick
31st overall. Haven't made the playoffs in 4
Philly's
seasons.
got some,
That's the longest drought since the
another
early
draft
90s.
pick later here.
First time in franchise history that they'll pick inside the top 15 for 3 straight seasons. So there's Keith Jones. He was a
All right.
surprise pick as president. He kind of came out of nowhere to kind of lead this franchise, and what a job.
Let's see what
Jonesy has
Briere
done
and
just
Keith Jones has to do here. What's the pick? What's it going to be?
For sure. They have an identity now. I did ask Danny Briere his philosophy, and he said that our biggest organizational need is centers. That's always hard to find, but it's best player available in the first. So we'll see where he goes there. But there's no doubt about it, especially with John Tortorella in that decision-making group. They know what type of players they want to wear that orange.
The pick is in for Philadelphia.
We have a special guest to make our selection. Proud Philly native and Hall of Fame announcer, boxing announcer, Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer making the call here. I would say definitely with the whole Hart situation, Jay, I do agree they would need a goaltender. I don't think you take one this high.
This year's season, playoffs, and the fantastic 7-game World Championship Stanley Cup Final was a magnificent display of the excitement and talent that is the National Hockey League. Now, it's an honor for me to be a part of this year's draft, and as a born and raised Philadelphian, for me it is a thrill to announce this next selection for my hometown, Philadelphia Flyers. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
That's awesome. That's
With
freaking
the
awesome.
13th pick in the first round, the city of brotherly love welcomes the Philadelphia Flyers selection, weighing in officially at 187 pounds, standing tall at 5'11", from the Guelph Storm, he is Chet Luchenko!
that is an amazing. That is an amazing.
Way to enter the NHL with Michael Buffer announcing your name. He's
That's
kind of
great.
Just a good, really all-around hockey player, right? Just a guy you put in the middle and just kind of a winning kind of player.
And he is that playmaking, finding passing lanes to scoring areas in the offensive zone. And
I didn't have.
teammates. Dangerous too. He creates a lot
I didn't
of
have
offense in transition
Luchenko.
and off the rush. My analytical comparable is Nick Suzuki. So a bit of that 200-foot game, engaging in all aspects defensively, and with that
I don't think I had him in the first,
reading
did I?
all situations.
I think I might have actually.
It's a
Let
great
me
pick.
double check.
I like the pick. This is a really good, steady offensive player that's not going to wow you, but is going to make plays. And I like the comparable of Nick Suzuki.
I had a later on,
He
yeah.
played for the Guelph Storm as well, the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, multi-time
But
All-Star.
20 goals,
Just shift
64
to shift,
assists.
game to game. Suzuki makes the right
68
plays.
games played, plays in the OHL.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is a good, solid pick here.
Saw his combine numbers. He's already at a young age He's got a frame of an NHL player.
Big time.
Although it's not lost on me that we had a boxing type announcer when he actually won the OHL most sportsmanlike player.
There you go.
So nice guy too. Nice guy, tries hard, skates well.
I think that'll do okay with John Tortorella. He likes some meanness in his game, but he also doesn't like guys in the penalty box.
I like this pick, and one of the players too, what's really interesting about him is you see some players that might have a higher ceiling, that might be a little more dazzling.
Right.
But every time, again, he's on the ice, he can generate.
All right, so the Flyers have made their latest pick. They'll have one more pick here in the first round, 31st overall, and that means the Buffalo Sabres, who continue to acquire high-end talent. 14th overall, they went from 11 to 14. So did they get extra stuff, and is their guy still there? Cole Eiserman's on the board. We'll find out their pick next.
Just kind of looking at his draft profile again.
Crunchy, mouth watering. Give me that beefy, meaty, grilly, dilly, pickle poppin'. Give me that burger, sauce, and toss and Papa John's. Better get you some cheesy burger pizza at Papa John's.
You don't need the same Duracell batteries that help power Willie's.
So yeah, he's a prospect, so I'll just kind of go with Luchenko with the Philadelphia Flyers pick.
Until you do.
Lead prospects had him rated
Duracell
34th.
proud partner of Williams
Bob
Racing.
McKenzie of TSN had him 26th. Craig Button had him 18th.
Once upon a time,
Tony Ferrari
there
had him
was an
30th.
infinity.
McKean's Hockey 21st. Flow
Meticulously
Hockey
crafted
Chris
to
Peters
stir your imagination.
18th. FC Hockey 32nd. Daily Faceoff 36th. NHL Central Scouting
And daring to
20th.
dream.
Draft Prospects Hockey
Luxurious
44th.
three-row
Sportsnet's
dreams.
Tino 24th.
For
Recruit
everything.
Scouting
For every
33rd.
passenger,
Dobber
could be
Prospects
just right.
29.
Introducing
And Smart
the all-new
Scouting
three-row
27. It's
Infiniti
obviously,
QX
you guys got to be a Boston thing. So from 14 to what would be the highest that people had him in? 18. So 18 to 44. That's a pretty big range. He'll definitely need to add a little bit more weight.
So much anticipation.
Just not the unhealthy kind that I have. 5'11", 187 pounds, but 87 pounds. Center, right shot, playmaker, phenomenal playmaker from what I remember some of the prospect things I went into.
Feeling Claritin
Matthew
clear
Poitras for the
is
Boston
like-
Bruins. He was formerly from Guelph. Once he left, Janko had to take on more of a defensive responsibility. So, could be a very solid pick here for the Flyers. And it just kind of comes down to you have to have the right personality if you're going to be a Philadelphia Flyer, especially if Tortorella's there.
Yeah.
Does he play this year? I mean,
poor cat.
maybe, maybe not. But
So yeah, USAA, they always have my
could have themselves a very nice player.
Oh no, I wasn't.
They do worry a little bit about his finishing
joined
and maybe
USAA,
being a little bit
passed
too
membership to my
reliant
mom,
on wings,
then to
but
me.
There's other ways to get in.
he's got a lot of good
My neighbor
attributes.
Ron,
A lot of good
he's
attributes.
because his wife served. Even little Luna, once she's born, her dad served.
So all this time, I could have had USAA insurance.
And banking.
Where's my phone?
Over there.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
UFC 303 is tomorrow night here in Vegas, T-Mobile Arena.
Actually,
highlighted by the light heavyweight title main event. The main card begins at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view.
I'm actually going to call it here.
On ESPN.
My
That
neck
starts
is
at
like
6
telling me.
Eastern. The Cortez
But
and Plus as well.
want to pop in. I'm
Support
going to
the
do
main
something
card
like a
in English
post-reaction
and
to it.
Spanish. Go to ESPN+.
But appreciate people popping in.
PPV.
See you later.